Hey, welcome back. This is Hype Lounge episode 2. We left you guys off on a really great episode, and we want to shout out to all our listeners from the previous episode.
Thank
we
you so
really
much.
appreciate it. Episode 2 today is going to be a little about Hype Lounge, a little about me, John,
A little about me, Drew.
and then we're gonna be getting to the Supreme release this weekend. Right now they have about 3 items on the current list, so they're a pretty good three piecer. And then we're gonna actually talk about our favorite shoe. Well, my favorite shoe of all time. Drew's still undecided, so
Yeah,
he liked he liked way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last episode we talked about Supreme again. So speaking of that, I actually the only thing I've gotten so far is my Beanie Baby that came in.
Oh, it came in?
It came in. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's actually really. I
wanna-
didn't send you a picture, but I'll send you a picture when I get back home. But
That's pretty dope.
yeah.
That's pretty dope.
So yeah, we talked about Supreme last week. So yeah, this episode should go really good. you
Yeah,
know?
we're going to talk about a few different things. Talk about some drops that are happening soon. We got the Supreme drop next week that's happening. Talk about some popular shoes that have been released this week, that are going to be released. We're going to talk about a few favorites. Thank you guys for listening. Those of you who did, tell everybody if you liked us. Let us know. But I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so we'll just get right into it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the backstory of Hype Lounge came about.
So yeah, John is the president and CEO of Hype Lounge. I'm the
Yeah.
current COO and vice president, and but he's got the story. So tell us a little bit about how it started and what's your inspiration behind Hype Lounge.
Yeah, so I've been reselling for about 5 years. I think a little over 5 years. So about like 2017, give or take. But the inspiration actually came from because I used to sell on eBay, And a few of the listeners have actually heard this story. But yeah, I used to resell on eBay. I used to do like the Saturday, Sunday garage sale, like thrifting and all that. At 7, 8
Like go to houses,
have yard
on
sales.
on your feet,
Oh yeah,
like walking with your feet to houses. People don't do that anymore.
No, I used to. I used to do that because like I was like 18, 19. No, well, I started doing it when I was like 18, 19. I used to go to Goodwill, but it was mostly like yard sales on the weekends. Like me and my mom would go. She'd be like, "Oh, yard sales," and I'd be like, "Okay, cool," And so that's when I really started like selling stuff was like through eBay. And so I actually sold like quite a few things on there, and then like one night I was just like, let me see if I can like expand it at all. And like, one night staying up late when I used to like play video games, stay up late, like 12, 1, 2 a.m., and I was just laying on the couch, on my phone. I'm just looking on eBay, looking at things that were like moving a lot, selling a lot, so it would help when I'd go out to like garage sales, see if anything was like similar to those that sold, and quick moves, and then also Goodwill. So I'm looking at eBay like selling, and all of a sudden I come across these red cups, these red and white cups, and I think it's a set of 5, and it spells this word Supreme like going up, and I'm like, I had never seen these before, so I looked it up. And I looked up on Google, it's like Supreme Cups. And that's how it came about. The Supreme New York was that. So I looked up Supreme and I'm like, like what? I've never heard it, never grew up with it.
What is this about? Yeah.
Yeah, never grew up with it. I didn't know anything. None of my friends were into it. Like I had never heard it before. And like I lived in New York and like I mean, this was like 20 plus years ago, but I lived in Long Island. So like I don't know if it's just if we had just never heard of it or seen it. Because I mean, Supreme
Or
started.
if it was just starting out and like
Yeah, it wasn't really that
yet.
popular. Because I mean, Supreme started in '94. I lived there in like 2002, 2001, 2001.
Yeah.
I think like on the tail end of like early like 2002, I think. But like, you know, my dad and stuff, he was from New York. Like he lived in New York pretty much like his whole life, and then like we had moved down to Florida and all that. And so I had never heard of it, so I looked it up, and that's how I found Supreme, the SupremeNewYork.com, and I'm like I ended up finding the cups because they had actually released like a few weeks prior, I guess. Like they had released, like I didn't understand what like the sold out meant, but like because not everything's sold out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's still that's probably always been the case. Not everything sells out in Supreme, but the good things do, you know.
Yeah,
the things that people really want. Because there are some pieces that are just like, you know, it's like okay, it's cool. That if you're like really like, because I love
a niche, you know, like if you have your thing, you know, like there's some pieces that came out on the last one. We won't get too far into it on this part, but like that were like related to dirt biking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
So it was like okay, cool, you know, like now it's like you're like, because I love Supreme to death. Like they're probably gonna call me like the Supreme Don one day because I just buy like I just want to buy so much Supreme, just like fucking throw it in the trunk and like fill my trunk up and. You know,
Supreme.
Yeah, because I'm gonna probably spend another bag like this week. You know, depending on what else is dropping. Because I already like the first 3 pieces I've seen. But yeah, so going back to that, like not everything on Supreme sells, but if you really love it, you know, you'll buy it. And so like I saw them, everything's sold out. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I ended up going on Facebook, and I found this group that only dealt with Supreme. So I joined the group and I started looking. I'm like, yo, like there's some crazy stuff. Like people are selling, you know, just everything, like shirts, clothing, accessories. Like there's this like Supreme Infinity box that's like $45. It's like an illusion box, and it's actually really cool. It's just, you know, your regular, like it's probably no bigger than like it's a little bigger than like an iPhone charging block. Like it's not very big. So, you know, it's probably like. Yeah, it's definitely bigger than an iPhone charging block, but it's like not. It's probably like 2 of them like combined. You know, it's
okay.
Like, it's not very big, and so like I'd seen that, and I was just like, whoa, like what the heck is going on here? So that's when I started doing some more research, and I'm like, yo, Supreme drops every Thursday at 11 a.m. What? So I'm like, all right, well I got a little bit of money, like let me try next week. So the very first 2 things I ever got was a Supreme chicken dinner ashtray and a Supreme gradient yellow like arc tee. And so it would, you know, the shirt was yellow and then like the gradient was like in the word Supreme, and it's straight up like arc, like the whole like top of the shirt just straight arc. So I got those in, and I'm like, yo, like this is crazy, you know, it comes with like the stickers and all that.
Yeah, that chicken dinner ashtray is
it's actually it's super cool.
It's vivid too. I mean, it looks like a chicken, like you're eating a chicken
like,
dinner.
I'm like, I saw it, and I'm like yo,
green beans,
like no
mashed
way.
Potatoes.
Yeah, I still have the pictures on my phone. Like when I first got them, I'm like, yo, no way, like that's wild. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, and it sold out. I got it, but like the Supreme shirt like didn't sell out. I think it might have like eventually, but at the like I didn't really, you know, what I didn't know at that time. I had no clue
like what to look
for, or what to even resell, because I wasn't even in shoes at that point. So I was only doing Supreme for a bit, and then like I said, I got into that Facebook group, started doing like talking about like what people were buying, selling on Supreme, and this and that. And then,
so did that yellow shirt resell?
I eventually sold it. I mean, not for a whole lot. I think like $10, $15 more than I got it.
Nice.
But like I look at it now. I look at it every once in a while. I'm like, oh, you know, what if I had kept it? Nah. I'm like, a good thing I sold it back then.
Yeah.
Like, because I think
you would have
like
taken a loss on it.
Yeah, because I think like the shirt goes for like $100, but like if you try to sell it on stock, I mean, not that I buy or sell on stock, but it's like the lowest bid is like $10. If you were to sell it, like you'd be making like $5, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this shirt costs like $70.
Yeah.
You know? And I had no idea, so I just went for whatever. I ended up making like a little bit of money on both. I think I ended up making like $30 for both, because I sold both as like a little pack. Because I was just like, oh, like, that's cool. So then I learned.
But so that was basically the moment in time where you realized, like, even though it wasn't that much, I can resell and I can make money.
Yeah, I can resell and make money because like I'd already learned a lot of that from Goodwill and yard sales and all that. Money's out there to be made. Whether it's a little bit or a lot, like you're still making something.
You just got to go grab it.
You just got to go do it. Yeah, if you do it enough, all of a sudden you go from 30, 60, 90 to 180, 360. 720. You're just boom, boom, boom. So I had done that. And then that's when I started to get into sneakers because somebody in the Supreme group was like selling like it was a Supreme sneaker or it was something like close to it or it was just a sneaker that they had posted with their other stuff. And I was like, whoa, like, so that's when I joined a group for sneakers. It was called, the first group I ever joined on Facebook was called the Sneaker Broker, which I don't know if it's still around or if it's a private group. I'm only in like one group. I'm only in like two or three like groups that I'm actually like active in, which is like Soul Collector 101, Sold for Life, which is like a combination. It's both groups. And then the East Coast, West Coast Sneaker Collab. Those are the groups that I'm mainly in right now. But that's when I learned that I could resell sneakers. But at the time, learning, like, because I still didn't really know, like, what resold at all. Mm-hmm. So, like, I just kind of put out, like, a pair or two that I thought was going to, like, end up reselling. And, like, turns out, like, it didn't. But I didn't buy them. But I was like, oh, like, what do people think about this shoe? And, like, a few people commented, but, like, it wasn't really anything crazy. But, I didn't cop anything for a longest time. The very first shoe I ever copped on sneakers was a Cactus Travis Scott 4s, which is like a powder blue 4. And that was like one of Travis Scott's like first shoes he ever did with Nike. That was the very first shoe I ever resold.
It's probably worth a fortune now.
Well, now, like, I think like last time I looked, at the time, they weren't doing very well. So I ended up making I made like $100. I think I got them for like $260. I think I ended up selling them for like $360, $370, something like that. But at the time, they had like tanked. I mean, they were like, people were pre-selling them back when you could do like actively do pre-orders, for like $1 to $2K. Because that's what the current market was asking for. So like people were like buying them for like $2K, thinking, holy, like this is gonna do well. Yeah. Well, they dropped. They dropped so many of them at the time that like resale went from like $2K to like $300. So like,
so those guys were people, like, I got duped.
Yeah, people were mad because like current market, But that's what happens. So like, I'll get into that too. But that's what happens when you get like early
pre-buy.
Pairs. When you pre-buy like early pairs. So I as a reseller, I offer early pairs whenever I can. But so back to the Travis Scott 4s, their current value, they're almost all over $1,000 right now. Other sizes, we'll just say like an average of over $1,000, like they're $1,000 plus.
So you sold it and you made $100.
I made $100,
and the guy you sold it to made $800.
I mean, no, he actually ended up wearing them. He wanted them for personal. Because the problem with the Travis Scott 4s at the time was their quality control was like awful. So like the pair I got was like good on one shoe, but like they were like, people were getting like glue, like massive glue stains, like shoes that like couldn't even be resold for what the prices they are now. Like you'd have to, so like if you were to hold them from when the shoe released to now, you probably can only sell them for like $500-$600 because like the quality control was just, I mean, like it was god awful. Yeah. It was bad. And so people were like, oh, okay, so like people were trying to just get rid of them because they were like, you would not be able to get the price they are now. It's just not worth it, especially like, I mean, not saying that people are picky, but people like, unscuffed, glue mark free, like stuff that you like, that you couldn't like put a black light to, but like you could actively like see it and it's like, oh, like that's bad.
Yeah.
And people just didn't, people were like, no, like I want a shoe that's not damaged and like full of glue marks that I can actually wear.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend money on something, you want it to represent yourself.
So yeah, that was the first shoe I ever sold, like ever resold, and then it just went from there. And then that's when I had learned, because I was only selling on Facebook for like the longest time. And then I started seeing people selling on Instagram. And I have a personal on Instagram, but like I wasn't following any sneaker pages, all that. So I actually used to buy from this kid or sell to this kid a lot. His sneaker name or like Instagram he went by was Soul Lounge. So I was like, oh, that's a really cool name. So like I didn't make an Instagram until like 2 years after I started reselling. So like if you look, I think like my very first post on Instagram as Hype Lounge. Let me see. I think because it's not an accurate representation of how long I've been doing this for.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because I'm like, I've been doing it for a lot longer. But like when my very first post was October 3rd, 2018 on Instagram. But I'd already been reselling for like a whole year prior to that. So like I didn't know. And then like if you look at my very like beginning posts, like I thought like, people like talking about like what was coming out and stuff like that. So like I would be posting like shoes. But if you look at it, like everything's disorganized and stuff. So like I didn't start like putting like real thought into like my postings until like 2019. So like I'm just posting, I'm just like posting like god awful pictures of the shoes, like god awful pictures.
Everybody thinks they're fake or
like it's just like it's just really bad angles of them. So like you couldn't really see them. And I was like, oh, yeah, that looks great. It looks fine.
And people really are drawn to like professionalism, you know, like when things look neat and clean and, people like that.
Yeah. So I started cleaning it up a little bit and I'm like, okay, and then I started getting like a lot of likes. And, like reselling isn't always like you're making money all the time. There are times where like that money just isn't there at the time.
You'll sit on a few pairs for a while.
Yeah. So like now I can do that. I can sit on like 20 plus pairs and be like, okay, I can still go buy like another like 30, 40, 50 pairs right now if I wanted to. I'm like, okay, cool. So, but yeah, so I had known this guy whose name was Soul Lounge. And so I didn't have an Instagram at the time, but I was like, you know what? Like I'm going to get into the Instagram and like, start selling on there. So that's when I started selling in October of, October of 2018. So that's when I came out with the name Hype Lounge. It's because I was selling hype stuff, and I'm like, I like that lounge part. So because eventually, like, I want a store that like people can like lounge around in and like chill and all that. So yeah, that's how I ended up coming up with the name Hype Lounge. So I just took that lounge part and was like, oh, let me just put hype in front of it. So Well,
there's a certain like feeling that comes along with the word lounge. You almost feel like sophisticated. You know what I mean?
Because like I like to lounge around. Like even though like I'm busy as ever now, like I still like to have some free time and just do nothing.
Yeah.
Like everyone should be able to enjoy that sometime, even if you are a busy person.
Yeah, it's like, a great environment to enjoy some dope ass shoes or some dope ass
because like sometimes like if I'm just at home, and I'm like, all right, I've already done my posting for the day. I've already done some like interactions on like Instagram and like Facebook and this and that. And I'm like, I'm going to go look at the shoes I have that are just chilling, So yeah, so started in 2018 and now here we are in 2022. But before that, like when I was selling pairs, I lived close enough to a post office that like I literally walked. I walked to the post office. Like I'd have, so like I ended up winning this. I ended up winning 2 sneaker backpacks from like a $20 raffle, something like that. And the sneaker backpacks are really cool because like the top part it's a little small, but you can put like snacks, drinks, a couple like because they also have like the pocket holders on the side. But I ended up getting 2 backpacks that were brand new. They were like $50, like $100 value for them. I got a bunch of other stuff too. And so when I started having to walk to the post office, I ended up cutting the sneaker backpack to where, because like the sneaker backpack in the back, you'd be able to put like one pair of shoes with no box. Like if you wanted to bring, like say you were wearing a pair, but you're like, oh, I want to bring another pair. It's like rainy out or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd be able to like put the shoes in the backpack and, you'd wear it because there was like a little thing in the bottom. little zipper. You just unzip it and it would literally fit like 2 pairs how they come in the box, you know.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I ended up cutting it, and I'm like, yo, I can fit a box in here that's already in the shipping box. So I was putting them in the shipping box and like walking, but there were days where I was selling like 2, 3, 4 pairs at a time. I tried to do like maximum like 2, even though like it's like I'd have to get a ride if I had more, which did happen. But if I ever had 2 pairs, I'd still walk because I would just carry. I'd put the one shoe, I'd put it in the shipping box, right? I would put it in the shipping box. I'd throw it in the backpack, and then I'd get the other shoe and not wrap it up yet, but I'd have the cardboard. I'd put my tape in the thing. I'd put my pen, and then whatever else I needed, you know.
Wow.
And then I'd have my drink in the holder, and I'd walk 30 minutes to the post office and 30 minutes back.
Damn, that's
crazy.
crazy.
If not longer. So like this is before I had my car that I have now, which I ended up getting through reselling because of that. So like
that's wild.
So yeah, I was selling like I tried to limit how much I could sell a week because like walking was it was a pain obviously, but I think I was like selling anywhere between like 5 and 10 pairs a week. So like I was walking a lot. So like I would time myself and be like, oh cool, I got here a little faster today, you know.
What was your favorite shoes to walk in?
I actually was not wearing any hype shoes at all. I was wearing like Vans.
Yeah.
Like these Vans I'd gotten for Easter one year. And they were like $50, you know. But yeah, I'd wear Vans.
That's a sacrifice right there, you know.
Yeah, so like I wasn't even into hype shoes, but I was like still reselling because like I didn't know what I liked, you know. I never grew up with any of that stuff like at all.
Well,
like,
nothing worth doing it is going to be easy, you know, and
yeah.
If you think it's going to be easy, you're wrong, and you're not going to be successful. Sometimes you got to walk that half an hour one way and half an hour back.
No, I did it.
To get what you want.
And like on the days it rained, I'd be like, all right. Sometimes I'd wait because like I would go in the morning, because like obviously like the earlier to go, like even though like UPS and USPS and all that, they do like certain drop times, like pickup times. I figured out like the earlier I went, like usually like the quicker the package got there. Like sometimes it'd show up a whole day early because like I would leave the house at around like 8. No, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I'd get there as soon as they were open, so I didn't have to stand in line long. But the only problem was I wasn't carrying I wasn't carrying cash on me. It was always my debit card. So like I didn't have a wallet. I just had my debit card, my ID, and so I just had those in my back pocket. And that's how I'd go to the post office because I just use my card, whatever. Or there was 2 times that, and I should have learned from this, but I did not, because I was like, you know, we're in a world where technology can always be fixed, but sometimes it's not fixed quick enough. So the very first time this happened, I went to the post office, and their card machine was down. So like I'd gotten there and like I had no idea yet. You know, I guess it like. Damn. It already happened earlier in like the morning, and like they had somebody there like ASAP, and he fixed it. Well, I was there, you know, and I'm filling out like the shipping label and all that. I'm filling all that out, and here like I see this guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, all fixed." And I'm like, whatever. Like, I wonder what they're talking about, you know. And I go in there, and like, you know, they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, the card machine just worked. Like, you can use your card now." I'm like, word, like I just got so lucky.
Yeah, you would have had to walk all the way back.
So here comes the second part, and they're like, you know, you should bring cash with you next time. I'm like, yeah, you know, I totally should. I'll bring like $20 because like shipping was only like 10, because I was mostly shipping to the East Coast, because like West Coast is a little bit more, but like it all depends on the box and all that. And so like I was like, oh, you know, if I bring $20, I'll be able to, you know, pay, and if I have to bring more, then you know, whatever. And so I was like, oh, you know, it's probably not going to happen for a while. You know, it's not going to happen again for a while. I think like not even like 3 weeks later, the same thing happened. But this time they didn't have anybody there to fix it, and it wasn't going to be fixed until like late afternoon. So like I get there and filling out the label, and I show up, and all of a sudden I hear cash only, card machine doesn't work.
Oh man!
And I'm like,
womp, womp, womp,
like, yo, no way. And I'm like, I have to walk all the way back because where I lived, they're the
So it happened to you once,
yeah,
and then you
I just, being naive, I'm like, it's not going to happen for a long. It's probably never going to happen.
It's never going to happen to me again.
It's not going to happen to
It'll
me.
happen to some other guy. It
won't happen to me.
What are the chances?
And I'm like, okay, the odds are pretty slim, but the odds were not in my favor. So
what'd you learn?
Yeah,
Finally.
I ended up bringing like $20 with me like every time I end up going. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep an extra $20 just like out. So like if I go, I can just throw it in my back pocket. And if it's not out, if it doesn't work, then here's $20. And next time, like on the way back, I was go to the ATM and get another $20 and just hold it until I have to go again or whatever. But yeah, it ended up never happening again from what I understand, because I just started using their self-checkout, like the self-service, because like I go to a different post office now, but the one I used to go to was always packed, like always packed. There was always a line. So I'm like, so I started learning to use the self-service, but sometimes that doesn't always work. But like now I have a car. So like by this time, like if the self-service doesn't work, I'm like, I'm just going to go do another one. Went another one like 5-10 minutes down the road. And I'm like, I love this one so much more, because I'd show up and there'd be like one person, but they had like 4 like people working the counters. So I'm like, cool. So I'm like, I'm still using the self-service, and I've had no problems there. Like there's nobody ever there. I'm just in and out, like boom, like that.
Yeah.
But like now I go to events, so like I'm not even shipping shoes right now. I'm just like selling like 16 to 20 pairs at events. I'm like, okay, cool.
So what's the process? Like if you want to resell shoes, you find a pair that you like, you get it in your hand. What's the process to sell it online?
Sell it online? Well,
like
there's...
You put it on multiple websites, you put it on one.
Well, so for me, and this is, obviously different for every reseller, but for me, I mostly sell on Facebook and Instagram. So, and eBay. eBay's another good one. eBay's good. Like if you just want to throw it on there and like forget about it, because like eBay's process now is so good. Their authentication's like legit. Like they really protect you in that way. So, but I sell on Instagram, Facebook, mostly like 90% of the time, and eBay. Every once in a while, if I just I'm like, oh, whatever, someone will eventually buy it for like a higher price because it's somebody somewhere. But you get the shoe, you usually want to check it out just because like quality control, like if you see something and like then you can like let the buyer know or let somebody know if you put it in the description. But I usually just like check them out and see what they're going for. Sometimes I'll hold them, like if they just released, because like before a shoe releases, like maybe a month or two depending on the shoe, like the price will be really high. Then you get closer to the release date and the shoe will like slowly drop in price because somewhere a raffle somewhere, or some place sold pairs a little bit early, like a week early or something like that, before like Nike, because they were allowed to, boutiques and all that, tier zeros. So when that happens, the price starts to go down. And I use StockX. Like I don't buy or sell from stock. Like I don't buy from stock and I don't sell on stock, but I use that as a price guide.
Yeah.
I try to be as lenient as possible because everyone uses that site, but a lot of people are like, oh, lowest payouts, this and that. And it's like, well, no, if you go to buy it, you won't get anywhere near that, So I try to be like really nice about it because I just use it as a price guide.
Why not resell on StockX?
Well, because they take a lot of fees. So like, StockX isn't bad if you have like instant payout, but it takes like a long time to get to there. But if you've been reselling for years, then you're there already. But they take a lot of fees. So like if you get something for retail, it can be great. Like and there are other things that can be super great too, like what we call like brick flips, is where like Nike's doing a sale, or there are coupons, there are like percentages off. Nike will do like, you can go to like outlet stores and buy pairs for like $40. You can go on stock and they'll be selling for like $120, $130. You can sell them for stock and sell them for like $100 and make like $60 per pair. And like, so that's how a lot of resellers like do it too. They'll go to like outlets and stuff and they'll look for like certain pairs that are doing well because they're in a cook group or they're in something, cause I'm in a cook group, but I don't do all the brick flips. I have like a couple times, but like, I'm just like, I I just like what I'm doing now because like that's a lot more work. Not saying I wouldn't do it, but I don't need to necessarily because
Yeah, and you'd probably rather resell shoes that you thoroughly like and enjoy.
yeah,
you know,
yeah. So that's
rather
another
than just
thing.
for money.
Yeah, another because I mean I could go to an outlet right now, like go to the Ellington one, go to Tampa, wherever, and get something and spend like $800 and make $800.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like. You take the pictures. You want to get like we just talked about it, but you want to get like good pictures. Like you don't want like bad blurry pictures because people are like, "Did you take that on a potato? Like what is that?" People would be like, "No," because a lot of times like if you don't, and not everyone has great phones, but if you don't at least try, people are like, I don't want to buy from this guy.
And the buyer probably wants to see clearly what they're buying, from many different angles, or at least from one really good solid angle so they know exactly what they're getting,
Yeah, you don't want to be guessing. You're like, was that, what colorway was that? Because it's all blurry,
those are fake.
Yeah,
that's
it's
probably
just
the
bad.
first thought,
yeah, you're trying to take it on a potato. It's just like, dude, what are you doing? But, I totally get it. Like, not everyone has brand new phones, which, I totally understand.
So you take the picture,
you're taking
you post it or whatever on Facebook, on Instagram.
Yeah, so a lot of Facebook groups, obviously they can't, like, they make rules for their groups, but they can't, like, they'll enforce the rules in the group, but they can't enforce, like, the rules, like, outside of Facebook, because, like, it's not like they're behind you and they're like, well, you didn't do this, this, and this, So, it's always like buyer beware because like they'll like groups will be like, hey, like, do like reference checks, do like this and that, get tagged photos, make sure they have it in hand. There are things you can do. Like if you're really unsure, do like PayPal invoice because like PayPal invoice is pretty good for you. As long as as long as you do it and you pay for the fee, then most people will, do it. And if they don't, it's usually like a red flag, but not always.
So does Facebook have, it's Facebook Marketplace, right?
No, it's just Facebook.
So you just post an advertisement for it and like people will send you a message on Facebook or
whatever? Or like comment. Cause like, if you like after I'll show you like some of the groups and all that, but, like the groups I'm in. But yeah, they have like you take the photo. You usually have to have like a tag photo of your name and date, so like it matches. Not saying that somebody couldn't, but it helps. Like if someone's like trying to be a scammer, they can't just take the photo and be like, "Oh, I have these," because some people don't do their homework and they don't ask questions. They're just like, "Oh, I want those,"
Right.
Which I mean sucks, but it is. Some people are just really nice about it, but. But yeah, like if you're selling on Facebook, you take the photo, tag it, your name, date, and then you post it, and if you have a good price, and someone's like, "I'll buy these."
Okay, so you don't use like a marketplace on Facebook?
No, I don't use I don't use the Facebook Marketplace because I don't really like it too much. It's all wonky.
So you're advertising on Instagram, on Facebook.
Yeah.
They hit you up. And then what's the process from there? How do they purchase the shoes?
Well, so like I take every payment. I take Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, like cash if you're local, So like Zelle will go straight into my account, send me your shipping info, boom, 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 here it is. I try to do tracking depending when you pay me.
They pay you and then you ship it out after.
Yeah, yeah. So if you pay me like in the morning and like I'd be like, yeah, I can get this out in like 20 minutes, and then boom, here's tracking, here you go.
Have you ever forgot?
Have I ever forgot? No. That would, oh man, that would suck. You'd be like a week later, this guy's like, hey, you ship those? What are you talking about?
Are you sending my shoes, bro?
Yeah, that would cause a whole problem, honestly. It'd be like, are you trying to like scam me? Like what's going on here, And it's like, nah, like I totally forgot.
Well, that's good. So you never missed a beat on that.
No, because like I mean, because I have my own reputation to like uphold, which
that's
is
big too, especially when you're first starting out. You have to have a solid reputation.
You have to have a word that you're gonna keep yourself by. So like if I'm like I always tell people, I'm like, you'll get tracking like ASAP. As soon as I have it, you have it. As soon as it prints out, boom, boom, boom. Like I'm typing in my phone. There you go, boom. Yeah. Because like, and I'm always if I can't ship, I'm like, hey, I won't be able to ship these out tomorrow, but you're gonna get tracking ASAP. And I try to let people know beforehand when they're buying it, because like some people will wait, and I have no problem waiting. Like they're like, oh, if you wouldn't mind waiting tomorrow, yeah, no problem. Like I got you.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're gonna hit me up again tomorrow, like we're good.
So on the other side of that, if I'm trying to buy a pair of shoes and somebody doesn't ship them to me, is there a way that I can, like get my money back or like hold that person accountable for what happened?
So like if you're a buyer, or if like, and you don't know the person you're buying from, like if you haven't bought from them before, if they have like no history in your group you're in or anything like that, like, always PayPal invoice, like pay the fee. It's only a 3% fee. So like if you're spending like $500, it's like, I think like $530, something like that. No, it's actually less than that. Let me see. Let me do some math real quick. Let's see, calculator. Let's say, what did I say, 550 or 500?
550.
550.
Yeah.
Okay. So 550 times 3%. You're looking at literally $16. So like you're paying $565 for protection for yourself.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're spending $550, but like you're literally paying an extra $16 to like if that person is just.
So what is that fake, like where PayPal will give you your money back
and
then PayPal goes after that person for the money?
Yeah. Or? So pretty much what it does, like, and I've had it happen to me. Someone tried to scam me through PayPal invoice, but like I've had a PayPal for like 12 years, like 13 years. So it's like I've been a PayPal member forever, and I've had no problems through eBay, through any of that. Before eBay changed their current payment method, like that's how eBay used to pay out, with PayPal. So like I've had no problem, but I've had people try and scam me, and it's just like, dude, it's not going to work in your favor. Like I've been a member forever and no problems like ever. So, but yeah, PayPal invoice will, like, if you go to sell, well, no, if you're doing the buying, you do the invoice. Like if they're fake, if you get the like, if you're like, oh, I'm not sure of them when you get them in hand, like they might have like switched them out, something like that, which does happen, but most of the time you can catch it before, because like someone else will call them out in the group or something like that, or some other group, and someone will be like, oh, I'm part of this group, this guy called out for this. But like if you have fake pairs, if they don't ship them, or if like they're not what they were like described as, because like
they're in bad condition,
they're not brand new, like the guy said they're brand new, you get them and they're like, they're ripped and this and that, the buyer never told you, but like in the description they never mentioned it either. So there are ways to protect yourself for sure, and PayPal usually sides with like the buyer. Yeah. So I mean, it has it screwed over people, of course, because people lie about things. They try to be deceptive, but a lot of times, like I've had no problems personally.
Well, those are good things to know.
3 times.
I know a lot of people have those fears when buying things online. I know I have those fears.
I know I have those fears sometimes too.
How many people have tried to scam me in the past?
I try to deal with people who are like really active in the community and like actually like had people who have vouched for them and this and that.
So for the most part, you've not really dealt with anybody.
No, have I been scammed? Yes, like it's happened like 3 times. Yeah. For a lot of money, no. Like some people, it's just like $100, $200. It's like, dude, really? Like, why? Like,
what was that situation? How did that happen?
Well, it was. I wanted a pair of it was like $170. I'm like, whatever. It was a pair of Air Force One orange skeletons, which is part of their, like, they release an Air Force One skeleton every like Halloween or whatever. They've done like white, black, orange, and purple. And so I was like, I want them because they were my size. They were 10.5. I'm like, heck yeah, like I like them.
Yeah, these are dope.
And they were like $170, and like I paid the kid through No, I think it was Cash App. Might have been Cash App. I don't know. It was like $170, whatever. I don't care. And so like I bought him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'll ship him out tomorrow." I'm like, "No problem, cool. Just like hit me up when you ship him. Just give me tracking when you can." Because like I do that. I'm like, "Here's tracking ASAP," so I expect the same back. And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay, cool. Like next day rolls around. I'm like, hey, like, did you ship him out yet? Oh no, I got tied up at work. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you know, just let me know. He's like, all right, yeah, I got you later. I'm like, cool. Like, next day, same thing. Next day, stops replying. I'm like, bro, really? Over $170, bro?
Damn.
So I'm just like, bro, you're that broke? So, you know, you just start insulting him. You're like, dude, really? $170?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that won't even buy you a Jordan 1 for a retail price.
So he just never shipped you
So
the
he
pair?
just never shipped them, yeah. So I was like, whatever, I had $170. I
Damn.
just made the money back, but I was
Don't
just
mess
like,
with that kid no more.
yeah, no, turned out he ended up like scamming like 4 or 5 other people in like the same night, something crazy like that.
Damn, dude.
So I was just like, yo, I'm like $170, man. But if you do it like 10 times, then yeah, you know, it's great. But
That's
like,
wild.
but like my motto, like my thought process is that like people who scam, like you're only thinking about like the couple people you're gonna scam,
And you're
you
only
know?
thinking about right now too. Scamming,
Yeah,
scamming
like,
is not going to work long.
It's
long
not
term.
gonna work long term. You'd have there's just so much more work involved.
You have to do a scam, stop that scam, figure out some other scam.
Scam
you
other
know what I
scam,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Then you got to make a whole new profile, this and
continuously
that.
scheming. You know?
I'm like, dude, like you're gonna make so much more money just selling regularly.
just doing honest business.
Yeah, just doing honest business than you ever will like scam. Unless you're just like some guy that scams like $50,000, then yeah, you know, okay, it's gonna take a while to make $50K, but like long, like.
But
I'm just
yeah,
like-
but then what's the jail time if you get caught? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
you're
it's
just
not
like
worth
if
it.
you get caught, because eventually you will. Like it's people are like, oh no, it's the internet. Like somebody will find you somewhere. It
Cheaters
happens.
never win and winners never cheat.
You know, it
That's how it
happens.
goes.
So
with tracking shipping, what so you mail something out, you get a tracking number, and you send that tracking number to the buyer.
yeah, and I keep all receipts. So like I have a whole binder of like receipts for the last like 5 years, I think. Like I have a whole like binder for like Hype Lounge when I made it like the LLC and all that. I have a whole binder for like everything I've pretty much ever shipped out. And I think I have like the whole middle console of my car is like receipts of shipping receipts. So like I just have a whole middle console. I've opened up. I'm like, oh, I forgot that was in there. Just like overflowing because like I was like, oh man. So I just have receipts, shipping receipts, and then, you know, I usually do it to where like I'll take them out and then like I'll put the most recent one on the bottom and then like stack them up that way. So like, you know, if someone's like, hey, you know, from like, say I shipped a pair out yesterday and I'm like, and they're like, hey, you know, I never got tracked. Oh, you know, here you go. But like
Yeah.
I try to avoid any of that. I try to avoid any miscommunication like at all possible, because then like it can make the buyer like kind of like, oh, like what's going on?
Sketched out, like
Yeah.
even if you're not trying to do something sketchy.
Yeah, I
it'll
just
be
try to
sketched out.
avoid all that, and I just let them know up front before they buy. Like, hey, I'm gonna ship them out. If I can't today, then it'll be tomorrow. You get tracking ASAP, like this and that, like brand new, you know, yada yada.
Yeah.
So, and that's just me, like as a seller, because like as a buyer,
as a professional.
yeah, as a person who wants to do business like long term and get known for it, then yeah, like I'm gonna do everything like A1 as much as possible. So yeah, that's a little backstory of Hype Lounge and me.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
dope. I mean, it's cool to know like what all
yeah.
goes into starting a business. You know,
Yeah,
and
'cause
all
I
the
mean,
steps
I
you
didn't-
have to take. You know,
Yeah, I didn't talk about it much, but like Hype Lounge is an LLC. Like I own the domain. I have business cards. I own the Facebook like thing. I own the Instagram. So like I own everything about Hype Lounge. So like it's a legitimate business. Like you can go on sunbiz.org and find me. Like I'm the only Hype Lounge on there. Like I'm the only Hype Lounge pretty much anywhere. Like there's this one. There used to be I actually found this out like during research, but there was this club called Hype Lounge.
Oh
like,
yeah,
But I guess it wasn't a very popular club because like it's closed permanently, like forever, and no one ever made like another one. But that's the only like closest thing I could find to Hype Lounge was Hype Lounge, but it was some club up in New York, something like that. So I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do my research because I was learning about like making business names, and like there are a lot of things that go into like you can't have the same name as someone else in your state, but there are exceptions because, like, you know, Dove chocolate and Dove shampoo, like they're not the same company.
yeah,
So like they make two different products,
yeah, and they're not competitors.
and they're not
Yeah.
competitors. So that's why they can have, like, I'm sure there's more to their name than just Dove, but like Dove chocolate, Dove shampoo. So like there's no clashing. So like one couldn't sue the other because
Yeah.
they're not. Now if Dove came out and was like, hey, we're making like a new shampoo, that Dove chocolate, like Dove would be like, no, you can't do that. Like we're gonna sue you because
Yeah.
you have the same name as us.
Yeah.
So there's just things like that I learned. Like you could make a Nike brand, but like if you were selling just like fish, you know, Nike, and you were known for selling fish, like Nike couldn't come after you and be like, hey,
Nike peanut butter.
yeah, like you as long as you weren't trying to sell shoes or
You could put
anything
the
of that
swoo-
nature.
The swoosh upside down.
No, they'd come after you for that, dude. They've sued. They're in a legal battle right now, I think, with StockX still. They sued a streetwear designer called his name's Warren. I know his name's Warren. I think like Warren Lotus or something like that. But they sued him because he was making dunks. Well, like they were looking exactly like he was making colorways similar to what Nike's released before, and they sued him, and they ended up winning because like they have all that documentation. They're like, look, this is what it is. This is what he was doing. He has the same like blah 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 like this and that, and like they're in a legal battle right now with StockX over like fake pairs and stuff like that. Because supposedly Nike,
StockX is making money off of people flipping fake pairs.
Fake pairs, yeah. So like, but the only thing I don't like about that argument is that like, what is Nike's idea of like how do they legit check their own shoes? Like, what do they know that like they just never like come out and be like, hey, this is what we look for, you know? Because like they bought five random pairs, and like I think like all of them are fake or something along those lines. Like I'd have to look at the story again. And
well, the hardest thing about that is that, you know, people do have the right to sell fake shoes, you know.
Well,
and
it really depends.
That's the hardest thing about it.
Because like fake pairs are like there have been multiple stories where like people in New York have brought in like fake pairs and like they'll get arrested. Like FBI will step in because like
really,
yeah, fake pairs like are actually like really not like there's like a whole like thing about it. Like fake pairs are like actually not allowed. Like if you get caught like if you get caught selling like 5 pairs, okay, but like, you know, if you get caught like at a sneaker event, they're just gonna be like, hey, you can leave and you can never come back. But like if you get somebody, I think, was trying to sell like over like $60 million of fake pairs, and they ended up seizing them. But like you can't like fake pairs are like they'll step in if it's like a huge amount.
Yeah, if you amass a fortune.
If you amass a fortune of, they're like, yo, like you know, like fake, like a lot of them, yeah, like the dollar small amounts, like they're gonna be like, yo, don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
But
that's wild. So yeah, I mean, yeah, a little history about Hype Lounge. That's awesome, you know, and
yeah.
we're gonna continue the lifestyle, you know.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to continue it. Hopefully, I can pass it on to my daughter. You know,
that would be dope.
I mean, even if she doesn't like shoes, and she can do whatever with it. But
that would be sick, dude. She's what, one and a half?
Yeah, 1.5 years old. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. Get something for her that even if she doesn't like it, she can sell it to somebody.
She'll be in some pairs soon. She'll be wearing some dope ass pairs soon.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping she likes. I'm gonna get her some. I'm gonna get her some Yeezys, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, little like baby Yeezys. They're kind of pricey, but like I'm just like, whatever. You know, she's gonna wear them, and people are gonna be like, oh my god,
she's gonna rock them.
Yeah, she's gonna rock them. There's some really nice ones, and there's a lot of women's shoes now. So I'm like, cool. Like, I can buy her a bunch of women's shoes, and if she likes men's shoes, like sizing's no different. It's just gotta match it up, you know. But yeah, she's gonna be in pairs soon. I'm waiting because like her feet are just growing crazy right now, and if I buy a pair, she probably won't be able to last in them too long. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep buying more. So like, I just buy her regular pairs now, obviously, like just regular, you know, Target, Walmart shoes. Like, so when she gets to where she's like wearing like youth sizing and stuff like that, and then I can like start buying actually buying pairs. So that's gonna be really fun. Yeah. There's already a few pairs that I like have saved. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
So
we got another Supreme drop coming this Thursday.
Yep. So right now, They have 3 items on because we released our podcast on Monday. So if we ever did if we ever had to be like, hey, podcast is releasing on Wednesday, we'd be able to talk about the full list because they do it Tuesdays, but we don't have time Tuesdays. So I'm like,
yeah.
But Mondays they try to do like partial lists. So right now there's the Supreme Kettlebell, there's the Supreme Jeff Hamilton Ridge Street leather jacket that depicts front and back, like all around, and even inside is like a nice red, like looks almost like satin, but it's probably like a silk of some sort if I had to guess. But it shows a depiction of Supreme, like a building and like fencing and Supreme, like their logo. And so
what website are you on?
SupremeCommunity.com.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a partial list, and then they got the 6 kg kettlebell. And then this is really hyped. Is the Nike Supreme Blazers.
Oh.
Yeah, so they haven't released a Supreme Blazer since like I believe 2003. So it's like their first like comeback. So they're probably not going to reach the numbers that the Blazers are reaching now because
that's just about a decade.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I might be wrong about the time.
That's about 2 decades, actually.
Let me see. I might be wrong about the time. I looked at them like 2 days ago because I was like, I'm like the Blazers are crazy, like the colorways that they came out with. Insane.
Yeah, that's sick. Any Nike Supreme collab that I've seen has been
pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 2006. So about 16 years ago.
Jeez.
Is when the last Supreme Blazer came out. I was off by 3 years because I was thinking of the Supreme Dunk, which came out around that time. But yeah, the Blazers came out in 2006, and they go for about like a band and a half, maybe more.
What's the color wave on those? What do those look like?
So the ones that they're releasing right now looks like black and blue.
Black and blue.
Black, yeah. So there's an not all black pair, but it's a black like color, and then like they kind of have like a snakeskin like swoosh, and then the blue one is that with the snakeskin swoosh too. So they actually look pretty good. So the retail should be really low on them. I think like around like 100, maybe max 150.
Oh yeah, those do look dope. Yeah, it's got like a diamond stitching pattern. I like those blue ones.
Yeah, the blue ones are really nice. So that should go really well. That should be a really good release. And then I really like the kettlebell. I might get that just for like decoration, just to have, depending on what the retail is, because like I'm not gonna pay. If it's like over $100,
I got designer weights, bro.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did like a whole set, like the 12 kg, 6 kg, just different weights, but it was like a whole set.
That Jeff Hamilton Ridge Street leather jacket looks nice too.
Oh,
man.
dude, it is so nice.
Sick,
you know what that reminds me of? There's this one Supreme piece that I will probably get, not anytime soon, but it's like super rare. I've never seen it in person, other than when I had it. But it's this Supreme trucker jacket, and it's a hand painted, like they hand painted it, and it shows New York, and it shows the Twin Towers. And I got it for when I got it 1 week when I was on vacation actually in Texas. And I'm at this motel, some random like hotel or whatever. And I ended up going for it and I'm getting it. And the retail was only like $250, but like I ended up selling it for like close to like $400. I think like $400, $450. But like like the piece, I regret selling it. Like I wish I had it right now. I look at it all the time. I'm like, I've never seen another one. I've never heard anyone mention it. Like, and I'm always like in Facebook groups and talking about stuff. Like I'm on Reddit, like forums of people talking about Supreme and all this. And like, no one's been like, oh, like I got this super fire trucker jacket. Like,
yeah,
just, I don't know who has it. I don't know where they have it, but somebody is rocking that right now and they are getting compliments because that thing is fire.
Yeah, that's a hard thing about reselling is like you don't know what should I collect or should I resell. You come across a fire ass piece. Or a fire ass shoe,
wish I had it. I wish like people would be like, yo, like it was a medium. It was my size too. But at the time I was like, whatever. It probably won't be that rare. But like we talked about it last week, but as Supreme goes on, there are pieces that just really stick out, like long term, and you're like, I'm never gonna see that again, like ever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure someone up in New York has it, or somewhere that Supreme is just like way bigger than Sarasota. It's just like crazy big, you know. So New York, obviously, California, LA, you know. I'm sure somebody's rocking. I promise you, somebody's rocking it right now, and they got the tightest fit on right now.
They're like, yo,
and
check
I'm just,
out this fit.
Yeah, you're just like, do a twirl, and you see it's literally hand painted. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's sick.
And
this leather jacket, the Jeff Hamilton, it's kind of like the artwork that you see kind of like on the wall at Hispanic restaurants. You know what I mean? Like kind of that like.
I don't know. I'm assuming he's obviously a designer of some sort, an artist of some sort, because Supreme does really well with, like, they find a lot of like cool artists, and they do like a lot of nice collabs with them, and like that piece is like made only for Supreme. So that's another thing. It's like when you see Supreme like artist collabs, 90% of the time it's only with Supreme.
And it's got the red interior.
Yeah, it's like I want to say it's like a satin, like not a satin, but like it looks silky. And so it's like a leather. It's not really like a Leatherman jacket, but like the inside, you know. It's
it looks silky, and it's cool.
Silky.
The front like flows into the back.
It flows right into the back, so it's literally the whole jacket.
So for those of you listening, it's a leather jacket. It's got kind of like a street view, and it looks like probably somewhere maybe in New York, you know, is what it was inspired by. But it's like on one side you got the building, on the left side, on the right side you've got like street lights and the sky and everything, and then the sky flows into the back side, and then it's opposite on the back.
It's opposite on the back.
It's got the sky and like the street on the left side on the back, and then the building on the right side. So it's almost like a panoramic view of two different sides of the same street when you turn the jacket around. Or like if you open the jacket all the way up and lay it flat, it's like a panoramic view of two different sides of the same street. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, the piece is really fire. So that should do well.
Yeah, that'll do well.
Supreme community, like they do like the voting and whatnot. And a lot of times the voting like shows like what's gonna be good, what people are like liking and all that. But yeah, that piece, I can't wait.
The jacket would be sick with those blue blazers.
Yeah.
Or the black ones.
Or the black ones, yeah. You could make like a whole fit. Like you could, honestly, like depending on what the rest of the list is, you could make a whole fit from like what the rest of the list is. Because they're going to obviously drop t-shirts. They're going to drop a hat. Like they're going to drop some other accessories, probably like one or two more accessories. And then like that jacket with a shirt. And they're going to drop pants too.
Yeah,
or shorts.
They got Republica jeans.
Yeah, they got so much, like, and that's only like 3 items out of the list. Like they're gonna be dropping like 15 more items, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else is on there.
The rest of the list is gonna be fire. I mean, that jacket's probably gonna retail for maybe like max $350. So like, you'd be paying like close to like $400 for it, but like it would probably, and that's just me guessing, because like retail could be like $240, $248, you know. But most of the time, jackets are around $300. You know, retail, which is not bad, because like that's a piece only for Supreme, and it will sell out. Like it will sell out.
It will sell out, and it'll resell for a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it probably resell for about like 500, 600 maybe, and I could be totally wrong. Obviously, that's just a guess, but I mean that piece is like really fire. So we'll see what people say when it comes in hand, because somebody's gonna buy it for personal, you know.
Yeah,
I would if I could, but Florida is way too hot for that.
No, there's no reason to buy jackets here other than to resell.
Yeah, so I'm just like, because like that's another thing. If I'm buying something, like I buy T-shirts, I buy like, you know,
we buy jackets to go to the movie theater because it's always cold.
It's always cold in the movies, yeah. But like, yeah, I'm just like, I can't wear a jacket like that. I think it's gonna be thick, and I'm gonna be sweating.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. Maybe to like a nice like a nighttime event or something like that. But I mean, I don't go to
game.
Yeah, hockey game. Okay. Yeah. Hockey.
Like air conditioner convention or something like that.
Air conditioner convention. This is the Air Conditioner 5000. If you can see the logo, it's a box logo.
Yeah, the Snow Cone Con.
Snow Cone Con. Yeah, these are the new flavors, and this is the new bottle for the flavors. It is great.
So you got your Beanie Baby.
Yes, I did.
Yo, that's dope. When'd you get it?
I got it Saturday, but I was at a convention all day Saturday in Orlando, so I didn't see it until I got home.
Is it and it came packaged?
Oh
in
yeah,
the box?
it's in a package. It came. They threw it in a bubble wrap like sender, so it came in. It's all packaged up. It's sitting on my counter right now, so I'm probably gonna leave it there for 5 years, 10 years.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it out of the package. I'm just gonna leave it where it is right now.
You're
I mean, I'll probably move
a
it.
while.
Yeah, I'll probably move it to my room. I'm trying to buy more, but I haven't really seen any for sale yet because I think Supreme's kind of delayed from last week because I haven't gotten my other things yet. So
Yeah, I haven't. My Catwoman shirt was supposed to come Sunday, and I haven't checked if I got it yet. It's at.
oh, who'd they give you tracking through? FedEx or UPS?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
Because usually they ship through UPS, but sometimes they use FedEx depending on where, like on what they feel like, I guess. But like usually, I haven't gotten shipping for everything else, but I'm assuming it's coming this week. If I had to guess.
Yeah, I hope
not too
so.
worried,
But I haven't checked.
So I also forgot to mention, but Supreme, before they ship, they won't charge you. Like they'll charge you initially. You'll get like the shipping, like you'll get the email, and like they don't charge you until it ships. Like they'll take off the credit, like they'll drop the charge until if it gets canceled, or whatever. Because like that can happen. It's happened to me. And they'll like once it all ships, they'll charge you for it. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Because like I'm waiting on like the $750 charge. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is fine because I mean, like I
can't tell who it was shipped. Oh, FedEx.
Oh, FedEx. Okay, yeah. That's why I haven't gotten, because usually a lot of times I have UPS linked to the house. So anytime anyone ships me anything and it uses like that address gets popped in, like it automatically sends me a thing saying, hey, you have a package, coming, yada, yada, yada. But they're using FedEx and I don't have FedEx because no one likes FedEx. Like no one likes FedEx. FedEx sucks. But yeah, the beanie. I'll show you a picture later. I'll probably repost it on Instagram because like the thing's so sick.
Why do you want to hold it for a while? You think it'll do better in a few years?
Probably, but
or you want to enjoy it for a little bit as a collectible?
Yeah, I just want to see it in its packaging and go from there.
That's cool.
Just to chill out. So
yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, it's this dope ass. It's like a 4th of July themed, American themed Beanie Baby, and won't get made again. That's for sure. But
not in our life, probably not in our lifetime.
Beanie Babies were really popular in our childhoods, so it's a nostalgic
it's kind of
thing,
cool. Yeah.
For us young adults,
Yeah, I'll pay $30 for it. It's not bad.
Oh yeah.
So, and I mean, it's going for about 45. Nothing crazy, but like I want like 10. I want like 10 more.
You want to collect a bunch of them?
I want to get a bunch.
You think
of them,
Supreme's going to keep dropping Beanie Babies?
No, this is the first time they've ever dropped a Beanie Baby.
Oh, you want to start?
I just want to.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, I just want to get like 9 more and just have 10. So like if they all go up like $10 more
and then sell it as a collection or something.
No, I'll just sell them individual, like going to events and selling them because somebody's gonna buy them. Yeah. Sell them like because if I get them, say if I get them for the current price of 45 and I bought my first one for 30, like I buy 10 more for 45 or 9 more for 45, so we're looking at like $405, and they all go up like $20-$30,
Yeah.
It's a really cheap investment because they probably will.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just bound to
You're not
happen.
spending too much to make a decent amount. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, because like if I spend $405 and they go up like $10, $30, $40, $50.
So what else? Just really quickly, what else did you get from the the last Supreme drop last week?
I know I got a Catwoman Andre 3000 skate deck.
You got the purple shirt, right? With
the slap shot.
Yeah,
got that. Got the toolbox. And that was.
Did you get the olive oil?
Yeah, olive oil and shoulder bag.
Okay.
Because then I got multiples of the Catwoman and multiples of the Andre 3000 shirt. So
cool. Well, I only wound up with the. I got a green Catwoman shirt. And I got bandana tees for myself. Yeah. But that's all I wound up with. I mean, everything sold that I wanted by the time I could press the button.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a interesting drop this week. But week 1's always crazy. And it's just glad that they dropped so much and not so limited. Like, so much has dropped. So, like, people are... attention is kind of diverted. You can be like, oh. But, yeah, so this week should be good. We'll talk about it next week, what dropped, and then hope maybe one day we can do, instead of doing a podcast on Monday, we can do it on, like, Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. And talk about, like, the Supreme list before, you know.
But at the very least, we know about the Blazers. Snakeskin swoosh. Yeah. We got the diamond stitching. We got a black one. We got a blue one. We know about that dope-ass leather jacket with the cityscape on it.
So, speaking of shoes, do you have a favorite current shoe?
Oh, man.
I know we were talking about it before the podcast started. And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough question for me.
This is a disclaimer. I told him it did not have to be trendy, hyped, expensive, sold within the last week. It could be from like 10 years ago. But the other disclaimer is that he's not in the in-depth knowledge of deep side of the
yeah,
shoe
I also really just got into exploring the shoe culture, and I've always loved shoes, but I've never had enough money. I didn't grow up with enough to really even have good pairs of shoes. Like in middle school, I was lucky to get like one pair, maybe one pair of Air Forces. I don't even think I got one every year. I think I wore like one pair for all of middle school.
I wasn't even wearing Air Force. I was wearing like Pumas.
Yeah.
Like I did not have good shoes.
Like I didn't even know about good shoes until middle school.
I didn't know about good shoes until I was already out of high school.
Yeah.
Like, I just had nobody who knew. I mean, my parents weren't like, yo, you see this new Jordan 1 releasing?
Like, what I wanted in elementary school, I was like, Mom, I want some Fat Farms, Mom. Give me
I was wearing
Farms.
I was wearing Airwalks from, like, Penniless.
I was wearing K-Swiss.
I thought Airwalks were, like, sick. Like, Airwalks, like, I had this really nice pair of Airwalks, what I thought were nice,
Yeah.
They matched with everything, and I was like, I'm drippy.
K-Swiss was my shit, boy. I get my new pair of K-Swiss every year. Like,
yeah, I thought it was
$40 shoes from the Shoe Carnival. You go up and spin the wheel, and you can get yourself a discount. So,
hey,
I wasn't born into the world of, like, shoe culture and everything like that. I wish I was, because I do love shoes, and I love design. I love clothes. Some of my newest favorite pairs. I'm gonna say a few because I don't really have one solid pair. A few that I've been looking at that I really actually do like. We'll go with the basics that everybody likes. They came out with a pair of Panda Dunks recently. That was pretty dope, and they always restock Panda Dunks.
Well, this is a different kind of Panda Dunk.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
It wasn't your average one. I can't remember.
Not your average Panda Dunk.
Let me see.
It's like a shinier textured leather, and it's got gold stitching. It's got the championship looking ring with the Nike swoosh on it, on the buckle in the front, on the lace, and it's really nice. It's like an elevated Panda Dunk, an elevated, elegant Panda Dunk. So I definitely like that pair, for sure. And then there's also another pair that I like a lot. There's I can't remember specifically the color name, but the orange and white Dunks that came out. It was like yesterday or the day before.
The orange Paisley Dunk.
Yeah, with the Paisley swoosh. Those were pretty sick.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are pretty sick.
Did I ever tell you about the? Sorry, real quick. When I was at the event in Orlando. No, Tampa. It was the event in Tampa. We had gone to an event in Tampa, and that was the first one you had gone to, and I was like, you got to come, like, you're going to love it. And so, like, it had rained and everything, and, like, we were leaving, and, like, I'm putting, like, the pairs back in the car, because I'm like, there's no one really here anymore. Like, I'd already sold, like, so many pairs, And so, we're leaving, and, like, I'm putting the pairs back, and all of a sudden, like, I'm looking at this shoe, and it's a Paisley Dunk, and I'm like, yo, where did these come from?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, yo, when did I buy these? Where did they come from? And, like, I look back and because I made a whole list, I do inventory and all that, and I, like, get rid of pairs that I've sold and yada, yada, yada. And I go back and, like, my notes, and I'm like, they're not on my list. I'm like, where did they come from? Well,
Uh-oh.
and I go back into like messages because I literally bought like, that was when I bought like 60 pairs, and like I would just had pairs coming in like every other day. You know, I still do, and so like I'm like, yo, who did I buy these from? I'm like, I have no idea. So I went back and I go back like a month and I just started looking at all the people that I recently bought from, and I'm like looking at the list and I'm like, and it took me like almost like 2 days to figure out who I bought them from. And I'm like, yo, like, what? I don't even remember buying these. I ended up making money on them, but I was just like, I'm at my trunk. And I'm like, yo, like,
where in the hell did I get these
where
shoes
did
at?
I get these
Like,
from?
Did I just rob somebody by accident?
And because, like, my parents wanted to go, so, like, you know, we all went.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom's like, you don't remember where you got those from? I'm like, Mom, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. And she's like, okay, well, you know, you're going to sell them and make money, right? I'm like, yeah, but, like, I want to know where they came from.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I
you
want to
know
know that these are actually my shoes to sell.
yeah, I'm like,
I
where?
take these
I'm
from
like,
somebody.
yo, like, what? And I guess I totally missed them because, like, I went through the inventory list and, like, I was like, all right, you know, I wrote this in, I moved them over, wrote them in, moved them over, wrote them in, and I guess I just moved them over and just never. So I was like, yo, I was like, what? But yeah, so
Surprise,
that's
Paisley pair.
Yeah, I was like, I was so stunned. I was just like,
Yeah,
what?
and they're sick though. They're really cool looking.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, the 4-pack's really nice. I like the black pair.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're a Panda Dunk, but, like, it's got the paisley on the swoosh, so, like, they're better than a Panda Dunk.
Yeah.
The blue pair is really nice, too, but orange, yeah.
Yeah, I like those. Those came out, I think, yesterday or the day before. I can't remember exactly.
Well, it's actually a re-release, because, like, right now they're restocking. They're not really restocking a bunch of pairs, but, yeah, they had come out before, but, like, they're still doing numbers. They're, like,
yeah,
over,
I
like,
didn't get a
$200.
pair.
Neither did I. I mean,
I pressed the button at 10 o'clock in 5 seconds and didn't get a pair.
Yeah, I did not get a pair at all.
I didn't
was
get
like,
a pair
yo.
of those Panda Dunks. I didn't. Those reverse blues were sick too.
Oh my god, yeah, those were. I didn't get anything.
I didn't get those either.
You should have seen me. I was outside the convention center because, like, the service was so bad. I'm out there for like 15 minutes. I'm like, I gotta go back in because, like, you know, the event's starting soon. Well, it wasn't starting soon, but, like, I was still kind of setting up. And I go outside, and I'm like, yo, like, as soon as I walk out the door, service, like, fully restored. I'm like, yo, this is not gonna be a good day. Yeah, I mean, it was a great day, but, like, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna have to deal with this all day long. And it's just me.
Issues.
It's just me. So, like, and this other guy that I had met at the other Orlando convention, because, like, he wanted to, you know, he wanted someone to, like, go to events with and stuff like that.
Was that the dude that had just moved here?
Yeah. His name is shout out to my guy Pocket Change.
Pocket Change
on IG. He has his own hats, shorts, clothing. So that's a little plug for him.
Cool guy too.
Yeah, super cool
really
guy.
down
Yeah,
to earth.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Good dude.
So yeah, we probably gonna start hanging out soon because he only lives in Tampa, and I'm like, dude.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's
I'm like,
not
dude,
far.
I'm like, dude, just hit me up whenever. I'm like, I'll take the drive. I don't care. And so,
Cool.
I was there before him, whatever, and we're like, and it was he didn't get there till like 11:30. I'm glad he got a table near me because, like, people were, like, starting to, like, really come in around, like, you know, before that. And so he's, like, setting everything up. I'm helping him set up because, like, he had gotten there so late. The event starts in, like, 45 minutes. He's trying to get all set up and all this and that. And so, like, before that, I'm like, yo, like, this service sucks. So I go outside. I'm outside for about 15 minutes. I'm waiting before the release, and I ended up going back outside. But I never got the notification saying, like, I didn't get them. Because, like, the service inside was so bad. It looked like the pairs were still in stock. And I'm like, yo, what is going on right now? My email wouldn't load. Like, Facebook wouldn't load. Instagram wouldn't load. Like, the only thing I could do was play a game. I was playing some, like, blockbuster game. Like, I got to pass the time somehow. Because I couldn't talk to anybody, and I didn't want to keep walking in and out.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's like 100 degrees outside. I'm like, thank God I brought my deodorant this time, dude. Oh, my God. I made the mistake because, like, I'd gotten ready. And I thought I put it in my car, and I didn't. I'm like, man, I forgot it. So that was the other event in Orlando. I'm like, yo, I forgot my deodorant. Man, I was so mad.
Oopsies.
Because, like, I'm like, yo, I made a checklist. I'm like, yo, got it, okay. So I'm like, I get there, and I'm like, yo, I forgot.
So you were odorant that day.
Oh, it was so bad.
Instead of deodorant.
Yeah, it was so bad. I'm like, I mean, it wasn't, like, awful, but it was hot. But I had to go in and out a few times to get everything on the table and this and that. So, but this time I came prepared. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it's 100 degrees. I'm not making the same mistake twice. So we got over that. But yeah. Yeah, I didn't get anything.
And then there was those lottery dunks, 2 different color waves that came
Oh, the
out
lottery
last week.
You know, I
didn't
saw
get
someone.
those.
I saw someone at the event who bought them, wore them, and scratched off the swoosh. It was
Oh,
sick.
really?
Yeah. I was like,
What was the
it
swoosh?
was the cherry, like slot machine type stuff, like cherry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like the
Something.
slot
Yeah,
machine.
like a lottery.
That's
like
cool.
where like they use like the images because like they do like the cherries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know. And because I was looking around.
Was it
and,
cherries on both the colorways?
I think the swooshes were the same. They're just different like colorways. I think. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because I think he was wearing the green pair.
Those were my favorite.
I was trying to buy a lottery dunk but the guy I was trying to buy him from only had size 14, and I'm like, I don't know anyone in size 14, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like that. I tried to buy a few pairs, but like, I just the only thing I ended up buying was a Mariah Carey Supreme shirt for like $40.
Okay.
Because like the kid, he also wanted to sell this Union jacket, but I'm like, I don't really sell stuff that isn't like real streetwear. Because like Union LA is cool, but like if he couldn't sell it, then I definitely couldn't sell it. I'm like, nah. So I just ended up buying this Mariah Carey Christmas tee off him for like $40. I think like they're going for like
Oh, yeah,
60, 65 on
pretty
stock.
sick.
So I was like, yeah, I'll buy it for 40. So I ended up buying that. So I might
Everybody
end up
loves Mariah.
I might end up wearing it. Actually, it's a white colorway. So I'm like, $40, whatever. It's actually cheaper than if I were to buy it on StockX, like on not StockX, but Supreme on release day.
Wow.
So I was like, word.
Well, there you go. That's dope. But
Yeah, save myself about $15. Yeah.
oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like those 6s that came out. I think it
Yeah,
was
the
like last
Georgetown.
week. It was let me see what the colors were.
Yeah,
It
Georgetown.
was spruce aura and metallic gold. Those are pretty sick.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the lows. The lows.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
they're just really clean. They've got like
Did you-
gold trim on the bottom.
Did you also like those Jordan 6 Georgetown, the suede ones, the gray ones? Did you like those too?
I like those. I don't like them as much as the other ones.
Okay,
I like the other ones because it's like a cream color. It's like an off-white color with gold. They just have a really
It's a
clean,
nice
kind of
accent,
like
yeah.
classic look
Yeah,
to them. You know what I mean?
I'm not a huge fan of 6s, but I get why people like them. They come out with some
Yeah,
good
I'm not
colors.
either. I'm really not either. I love ones. Ones are my favorite
Ones.
Jordan.
Yeah,
if you want to talk about my favorite Jordan, I love ones. You know, just a classic look. You know, they're stylish without being like flashy. I don't really like shoes that look kind of like over the top. You know what I mean? And too much to look at. I like shoes that
much.
are easier on the eyes.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the Jordans, it's a lot going on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
So
You're not wrong, Brian.
most 6s I don't like, but these ones I actually really really do like.
Yeah.
They're pretty classic look, and I like the LeBron series. I like LeBron's.
I actually have a pair of LeBron Soldiers. I think I don't remember which number, but I have a when I worked at H&M like way back when. There was still a Champs in our local mall, literally 5 minutes from here, not even. And I bought them on like break. I think I bought them for like 200 some bucks, something like that.
Yeah.
But like I used to hoop all the time, but like I'm not hooping so much now after my
Are
fractured
LeBron's
ankle.
comfy to hoop in?
Yeah, they're pretty comfy. They definitely are super ankle support because like these ones, so like they have the laces, but they also have like the straps. So like you
Okay.
would no, I'm sorry, I don't think the Soldiers I have laces. I think just the straps. I'd have
Just
to
a
look.
strap on.
Yeah, because like it is your foot, and then like they have another strap that like really supports your ankle, like super support. And I mean, obviously you have to break them in and wear long socks, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
And I like the Zoom Freaks. I have myself a
Oh,
pair
yeah,
of
the
Zoom
Uno
Freak
pairs?
3, the red.
yeah, the Unos. Are
But
you gonna
there's-
get other colorways of that, or you just?
I was thinking about it. I might. You know what I mean? I might. I actually really like those. I think I'm gonna get some different pairs. I think I'm gonna get me some Jordans.
Okay.
Some dunks, some stuff like that. I might get some Jordan 1 lows, some Jordan 1 highs.
Ooh, Jordan 1 lows are actually pretty comfy. I
Yeah.
have a pair that I shredded them. Like they're beat. I don't even wear them anymore. But I had the Court Purples because there's the high and low of them, of the 2.0s. But yeah, they're super clean.
Are they as comfy as the SBs?
No, SBs are stupid comfy. Like, they're stupid comfy.
But then I've got one that most people, it's pretty uncommon. Most people don't like it, but to me it'll help you guys know a little bit about me and about my swag and about my style. One shoe that I really actually do like is the Shaqnosis, man. I like those.
Dude,
those
the
Reebok.
Shaqnosis are fire.
They're sick to me, bro. There's something
so
about
good.
that circular design. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
so good.
It's trippy. It's classy looking, and it's got a purpose. I mean, they're a sports shoe. You know what I mean? So, and they come in pretty dope ass color waves too.
Yeah, the black and white one's probably obviously my favorite in that color.
Yeah, those are sick. I like. There's a pink and gray pair. Pink, gray, and white pair that I like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, no, the Shaqnosis, like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, those are pretty wild. Those are pretty wild.
Yeah, I've wanted a pair. I just never seen them for sale for, like, anywhere. But I'm sure someone somewhere has them for sale.
But these are just shoes I'm looking at. I won't really have a favorite pair of shoes until I put them all on my feet. Because that's part of it.
You want every single pair on your feet of all time.
every pair ever. Every pair of shoes ever. I'm gonna hit up Fat Joe and be like, "Yo, let me
Fat
put on
Joe,
every pair
DJ
of shoes
Khaled.
ever."
You might as well hit up Joe Puma from that sneaker show. They have literally like every single pair like ever made. They have like the friends and family pairs. Like, they have everything.
Well, yeah, just because with shoes and clothes with me, it's a lot about how they fit too, and how they feel. Something can look good all day and like, wear like trash. And
I'm kind of the same way, because like when it comes to clothing anyway, like I don't like. I mean, maybe I haven't really like tested the waters, but like baggy stuff, like I'm not a huge fan of like super baggy stuff. But that's just because, like, I haven't really, like, ever tried. So it's not something I wouldn't consider. But, like, I'm like...
baggy stuff is comfortable. I just don't really like the baggy look on myself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, when I look at other people, I'm like, yo, like, that baggy look, they pulled that off.
Well, I'm a big dude, and baggy makes me look bigger. So...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so much a big dude. So I'm definitely on the smaller side. I mean, I wear a medium, so like I've had the same waist since like high school, and that was like 7 years ago.
Like, I'm not a fat ass motherfucker, you know what I mean? But like I'm on the bigger side. I'm a solid 240, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, like I'm like 140 on a good day.
Like 75% muscle, 25% fat, 20-40, 240 pounds,
Yeah, like I'm like 140, 145, like
5'11", I'm 6 foot if I've been asleep for long enough. So gravity's not pushing down on me.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, those are definitely some good shoe like favorites.
So baggy doesn't look good on me. But yeah, I mean that's my favorites that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Favorite pair that I've ever owned. Honestly, were probably my black and red Forces back in middle school, because that was like my middle school shoe, because like I was my mom was buying me like $40-$50 pairs of shoes, $20 shoes. I got like Walmart, in elementary school, and she'd get me a new pair every year.
Okay.
That was the thing. We're going to go school shopping. You're going to get your outfits for the year. You're going to get your shoes for the year. You know what I mean? And I picked an expensive pair, and my mom was like, I don't know if I can get you, this pair like every year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I picked, I don't know how much, I didn't know prices back then. I was
I
don't
think any of us
so I don't know how
really
much she bought them
for,
but she told me they were more expensive. And I just wanted these black and red Air Forces so bad. Like, Mom, please, like, let me get these Air Forces, Mom. They're sick. And I didn't know that they were even that popular either. I just really liked them a lot, And I wore them for 3 years. I wore them for 3 years, and that was my only pair of shoes for about 3 years. Yeah. And everybody used to call me Fireball in middle school because I had black and red shoes, so all I wore was like red, black, white, red, gray.
Colors that match the shoes. So people would be like, "Oh, word!" Like he color coordinates. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just every single time, like.
Oh, and I was wearing, when I did wear different colors, I was wearing my black and red forces with like whatever color.
Yeah,
I had no style.
If you're wearing blue, people are like, dude, that doesn't even. You're like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah, so that's probably my favorite pair that I've owned, just because I've got so much history with that one pair.
Yeah.
And looking back now, I was rocking a pretty cool pair of shoes back then. Favorite pair I have now is either my Air Maxes, the like multicolored yellow, green, purple, black, pink. They got all kinds of different colors going on. Like cool. The stitching is pink. Mm-hmm. The swoosh is one color. They've got like a reflector on the back.
Nice.
The toe is yellow.
That's fire.
It's pretty dope.
And they're Air Maxes?
Yeah,
are they Air Max ones or?
I can't remember what Air Max they are, to be honest with you. I can't.
I mean, there's a few different, like the 95s.
They're in my closet.
Yeah, we can look
at them after.
Yeah.
But they're not a 95 or a 97 or anything like that.
Well, they're probably the Air Max 1.
Probably something like that. But I like those. Those are friggin' derp. Yeah. And then I like the Zoom Freak Uno Reds.
Yeah. I think there's a yellow pair too.
What, the Unos?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a yellow, there's a green, there's a blue, and a red.
Oh, okay, so it's
like Uno colors. It's like every Uno color.
I wasn't sure because I mean,
I'm pretty sure there's a black wild card one too.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a wild card one too.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're sick. They're freaking dope. They're multicolored with every shoe has every color.
And it says Uno on it, right? Like it says Uno,
and it's got like the interior of the shoe is like a deck of Uno cards, and you can see pictures of all the different Uno cards. And we played Uno a lot, as kids.
Yeah, we still play. We sometimes whenever we all get together, we all play Uno. So.
Yeah, we have played Uno. We play That's Uno, right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I mean. That's what happens when you grow up with a small time lifestyle,
Yeah,
you play board games, you play card games and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but they're sick, and every shoe, has a main color, but each shoe has every color on it as well, and on a different part of the shoe. So like on one shoe where it's red, it's green on another shoe.
Yeah, because Giannis actually has a few other shoes too that I've told you about, the Zoom Freaks. They're there's a few different.
Yeah, he's got a lot. There's a lot of Zoom Freaks. And I like
he has new ones coming out this year too, if I'm not mistaken, because I mean it's coming,
But they're comfy.
Yeah,
they're a comfy shoe. I've got wide, super wide feet. So, and basketball shoes, sometimes are thinner.
They run. They're narrow.
Yeah, so narrow, but these are really good on my feet. Nice. They're wide enough and give me enough ankle support. Yeah, that's probably my favorite pair of shoes that I own right now. But I'm soon to buy some dope ass pairs. So stay tuned for what next week's favorite pair is.
Don't let me get you addicted now.
I think it's already started.
Oh no, the world of shoes has consumed them.
Honestly, I really have been.
Soon you're going to be doing what I do, and I've been doing this for...
I've been sitting at my desk at work, like, looking at shoes.
Yeah.
Instead of monitoring my store's inventory.
No, but, like, ever since I started getting into shoes and, like, reselling and all that, I have a habit that has rubbed off on other people. But, like, if I'm out and about, and, like, there's, like, a lot of people, even if I'm at, like, a grocery store, like, I have to look at people's shoes.
Well, I think I got it,
so like
my parents and my family growing up didn't have money like that, but my grandpa had a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And he had different suit jackets.
Okay. Yeah.
Different dress shirts. He had like 15 suit jackets. He had like 20 pairs of boots. He wore boots all the time. And so I think just that kind of classic style. Mm-hmm. I got from that, you know what I mean? So yeah. I grew up looking at a closet with like different options, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what kind of closet I'm going to build one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And, I'm a very creative person as well. So, shoes have, they satisfy my creative want.
I think I pulled that a little out of you.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine that shit.
Yeah, I pulled some of that out of you when I started asking about your like what you were gonna be designing for your like clothing thing. So
yeah, Jerome Francis Drew, JFDclothing.com. Check me out.
So, but yeah, But yeah, I have a habit. If I go to the grocery store, if I go anywhere event where there's a lot of people and like, cause I'm usually wearing like Yeezys or like Jordan, like my Jordan 1s. But I'm usually like wearing Yeezys because they're super duper comfy.
Yeah.
So like eventually I'm gonna get more Nike, but like right now my only Nikes are the Jordan 1s. Everything else is Yeezy like 350, 500s, and the foam runners. Because I have like two 350s, the 500s, the foam runners, and the Jordan 1 patent toe, gold toes. But like if I'm out and about and like there's a lot of people, then like I have to look at people's shoes. Because, like, I'll be like, oh, I know those pairs. I know those. Those are super sick. Like, I know how much those go for.
Yeah, everywhere I go, I'm looking at
so,
people's
like,
shoes.
that's, and I've been
Damn, those are dope,
I've been
bro.
doing that for, like, 5 years now, ever since I got into sneaker reselling. So, like, and it's rubbed off on other people. They were like, oh, no, I do it too. Because, like, I'll be like, oh, hey, look at those shoes. He's wearing some, like, you know, Jordan 1, like, UNC chills. And like
I definitely noticed your black gold patent leather.
Yeah.
Jordan 1 highs for sure.
Yeah. I actually get quite a bit of compliments on that because it's not a lot of, it's not, I've only seen like one of the, and obviously I haven't seen everybody in the entire world, but like in Sarasota I've only seen one other person wear them. So like I was like, oh, that's sick. But I've bought and sold like a few pairs of them like within the last like couple of years. But like they weren't doing too hot and they like exploded again. They were like doing like, they were sitting around like 300 resale. Now they're up to like $600, $700, something like that. So it's crazy. But yeah, so now my favorite shoe of current time, probably all time, is the Off-White Converse Chuck Taylors. So, which is a shoe, you know, your classic Chuck Taylor, but it's the Off-White design with Virgil Abloh, like way before he passed away. Because I love Virgil, and he's a big, you know, inspiration through like streetwear, because I like the Off-White brand in general. Like, it's a nice European brand.
Yeah.
And the other reason I really like Virgil is because I love Louis Vuitton. Like, I love Louis Vuitton. And so when he became like the creative director and all that, like he was still doing, well, before that he was still doing collabs with Nike, and he had released the Off-White Chuck Taylors, and like I didn't get them on release day. I don't own a pair as of yet, but I will probably for my birthday. If I like, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's my birthday, like I want them.
Yeah.
And like because I'm just like, you know, I could buy pairs every single day, but I just don't want to.
Those are the ones with like it's like black and white diagonal stripes.
Yeah, diagonal stripes on the sole.
On the sole, yeah.
And it's got like the Off-White stamp on the inside of like the shoe, like the inner part of the shoe. So yeah, I'm definitely getting those for my birthday. It's confirmed now. As we're talking, it's happening. People
would have killed. You heard about the stories where people are killing people over Wendy's or over Popeye's chicken sandwiches? In the 80s, dude, people would have killed each other over these shoes, bro.
They do.
Those. Oh yeah, they do. They do nowadays.
Some kid, like not even like 2 months ago, got stabbed over Panda Dunks. And almost died up in New York or wherever it was. He got stabbed over Panda Dunks. They're going to release them 100 million times. And they're a brick. Like, I think it was like Panda Dunk High. Some kid got stabbed over them. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that happens occasionally. That's why like before you got into sneakers like were a lot of times were like first come first serve. Like you stayed overnight and you camped out for them.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen anymore because like so many things were happening.
Yeah, I never did that, but I knew kids.
I used to do it. I'd wake up at like 11. I'd sleep during the day, wake up at like 11 p.m. and like go camp out from like 1 to like whenever the store opened.
Yeah.
Did it ever work in my favor? No, because people were there way before me. But you know, I've done it a handful of times. You know, I've sat at the UTC Mall, on University for like almost like 2 hours before they opened because like it was the first come first serve for Jordan 1.
Yeah.
You know, ended up making like $300 off them because like they were super sick, and now they go for even more than what I made off them. Jeez. But like, it was a Jordan 1 Rookie of the Year. So, like, I got a pair. I mean, they're fire. Like, they're super fire. And honestly, they're a pair I don't see very often for sale. So like whenever I see them for sale, I try to get them. But people, they're rare, or they're on the rare. They're not like super 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 rare, but they're on the rare side for being for sale brand new. Yeah. So because like I don't count StockX because you can get almost any shoe on stock. So like it's kind of like a cop out.
Yeah.
But like for sale from like an actual person, like they're on the rare side.
But those off-white
Chuck Taylors, so fire. And so like there's the first variation from the 10 collab with Nike. It's a Vulcan release, but like those go for like $1,000. I don't really care for them too much because like they're not really my style. They're like super clear. They're super fire. Like I've seen them on people's feet.
I think I have seen those.
They're super
clear,
fire.
Right?
They're like, clear and they say like Vulcan on them and all this. They're super nice. Like they're super fire. If I could get a pair, I totally would. But like by now, like there's not many brand new pairs.
I don't know how I feel about clear shoes.
So like they're not like
you
super.
You better be wearing some nice ass socks.
Well, they're not like super clear to where it's like plexiglass clear.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like it's kind of like a foggy like clear, but like they're nice. Like they're super nice.
I have seen some shoes that were like
they kind of give
a
off
window. And it's like, that person's wearing dirty socks.
Oh, that was, don't even get me started. But yeah. Yeah, Off-White Chuck Taylors, like, rest in peace, Virgil. Like, I will always say this until I die.
All-time fave?
Yeah, all-time favorite, and the dude's an absolute genius. Like, and I just said this, but I loved when they made him the creative director of Louis Vuitton because like he just elevated everything about them. Like they were already a great brand. I'd already loved them before that, but like now it's just like, yo, like he's gonna like they can't even find since he passed away. There's only like they're trying to find a new creative director because the spot's been vacant since he passed away. And so like there's only like 4 people they're considering right now. I can't remember their names. But I try to keep up with it because I'm like, don't let us down. Like,
yeah,
Virgil like did this, and this. I know no one's ever gonna be Virgil, but like, pick someone who's like gonna
along
do
the same lines.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be him exactly, but pick somebody who has the same like kind of like sort of visions or same ideas.
Yeah, because
like you're Louis Vuitton. Like, I don't want you to start coming out and pulling like. Some bad designs. Like I'm trying to buy that stuff. Like like I love Louis Vuitton. Like Louis Vuitton is my number one favorite designer.
Did you see those Gucci Adidas? I
don't care about Gucci. Gucci sucks.
Yeah.
Gucci is trash.
I was wondering what you were gonna say about those.
I do not like Gucci. Just because like I can afford Gucci right now. I can afford all those designer brands. But like I don't like Gucci. I like Christian Dior. Louis Vuitton, obviously, and I don't like Balenciagas. Like they're ugly, super ugly.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not a big fan of them. There's one pair I like, and it's these green pair, like super bright green pairs. That's probably the only Balenciaga shoe I like. But their clothing, no. Gucci, I'm not a big fan of Gucci.
Yeah, they're coming out with a line of Gucci Adidas.
I know Prada.
They're all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
They're okay looking.
Because like
they're not my favorite either.
Yeah, I know Prada did a thing with Adidas. It was good pieces, but like just nothing I would personally wear. But like I was looking at Louis Vuitton website last night because I'm getting a new wallet. I'm probably gonna buy a pair of sunglasses. And then maybe a bag or like a shirt or something like that. I'm not sure yet. I still got to look because everything I've looked at so far is sold out. I'm like, yo. I'm like, maybe the next time I go to Orlando, I'll just go in store. Because like I always want to go, but I'm always at these events and they're all day long. All day long. Because I was in Orlando for like 12 plus hours. And I couldn't go because I was at the event. So I'm like, yo. So the next time I go to Tampa or Orlando, I'm probably going to go to Louis Vuitton and buy some shit.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be fire. But yeah. So yeah, that's my favorite shoe. Anything else you want to add about yours or anything like that?
No, I mean, I'm just excited about, definitely the Supreme drop, about what's coming out this week. And just to really get into pairs myself and start buying those pairs that I really, really like. I'm excited about that. So
yeah, I'll definitely, any questions you have, I can definitely help. I'm actually pretty good at legit checking too. I mean, you've seen me in action.
Yeah. You got a black light and a
Yeah, I
magnifying
got a
glass.
black light. Yeah, dude, the black light is actually so cool. Like, I'll just be messing around like in the house, you know. I was at the sneaker event, not even legit checking shoes, and just like black lighting because like it's like I actually before I sold my this pair of Dunk Low Green Glows, which is a women's shoe, and like I black lighted it, and the color's just like it's so sick. I'm like, dude, Nike's got to do. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna suggest it to them. I'm not gonna let any of you know my suggestion.
Oh, we got $1 million idea.
Nah, because Nike's a $1 billion company. I'm just a little fish.
Yeah,
But like I'm like the little minnow. I'm
Yeah,
like the little tadpole.
they can give you $1 million and not even think about it.
I wish. Sheesh.
Well, I think that brings us just about to the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you want to add? Anything else that you want to wrap
I don't
up
think
with?
so. I think we covered everything. I mean, we talked about in episode 1. So, you know, just our ideas and where we want the podcast to go. And, you know, maybe by episode 5, we should have, maybe even by episode 4 or 5, we should have our first guest.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just seeing if anyone wants to join. If not, no big deal.
Yeah,
We're
for
still
sure.
gonna be
And
putting out episodes every week.
you know, for those of you who listened last time, thank you again. You know, for those of you who are listening the first time, we really, really appreciate it. And just, you know, our goal, we said it last time, and we'll probably say it just about every time, but, you know, our goal is to get what we love and what we enjoy, you know, out to the world, to get some, you know, well-deserved knowledge, you know, in the industry that you might be interested in, you know, out to you. Without having to look up 1,000 things, you know, because
Yeah.
we've already done it for you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And we want to, if you've got a sick hobby, if you want to own a business of your own, whatever it may be, if you're into charity, whatever you spend your time on, you know, whatever you love and whatever you enjoy, if you want to reach out to us, we'd love to have anybody on, you know, talking about their hobbies and talking about their lifestyles, because we want to bring our lifestyle to you, and we want you to bring your lifestyle to us. So, you know, let us know, you know, give us a shout. And if you do anything cool, collecting coins, dancing, whatever it may be, you can solve a Rubik's Cube in 6 seconds. I don't care what it is, whatever it may be. If you do something that's really, really dope and something that you really, really enjoy and are good at, just let us know. We'd love to have you on. We're looking for guests.
Yes. We will be looking for guests probably about episode 4 or 5, I think. Maybe 5 at the latest. You know, because once we get established, you know, so, but yeah, again, you know, what he said, we really appreciate it. And, you know, if you ever want to reach out, you know, at hyped_lounge on Instagram, that is me. I'm a real person. So, you know, hit me up whenever. I'm usually always on Instagram. Sometimes I have 2 profiles, but a lot of times I'm not on my personal, like barely ever. But yeah, just reach out, you know, let us know what you think. And, you know, any constructive criticism we will take.
Yeah,
So,
if you like what you heard, let us know. You know, if you want to hear anything different or anything more, you know, let us know, man. We're open to suggestions.
If you ever want to give us like topics to talk about, and you know you're a listener and you're like, oh, you know, I was thinking about what do you think about like Supreme Nike collabs, like your all-time favorite or something along those lines. You know, whatever topic, you know, that pertains to sneakers and clothing. And then whatever, you know, if you hear our special guest, you know, does something you like and you want us to really, really talk about, then yeah, you know, just let us know. So
don't forget to go to jfdclothing.com. Check out my clothing brand, man. I don't have too much on there, but I'm still designing. Check it out. Get a shirt, get a hoodie. Check out everything that John's got going on. And then thank you guys again, you know. Let us know what you think of us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
And I think that's a wrap up for episode 2.
Yes, sir. We are out. Episode 2 will be up shortly.
Y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.